Hey guys, and welcome back. In today's video we're going to be discussing 4 matchups in college basketball and who we think are the better plays against the spread, and this is going to be for February 28th, 2017. If you're interested in getting our daily free pick over at our main website, you can check out stumpthespread.com by clicking on the logo in the top right hand corner of this video, and I'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. And if you want more of this pick content in the future, you can click that subscribe button, and any thumbs up on the video are greatly appreciated. So heading right into things today, first matchup I want to talk about is over in the SEC between Texas A&M and Missouri. And if you're interested in what 5 games I'm going to be talking about, I will put those down in the video description as well. So, talking about this SEC matchup, we have a Texas A&M squad that's been a pretty big disappointment this year. Many thought that Texas A&M would be in that upper tier of the SEC and really push for a spot in the NCAA tournament, but the Aggies haven't been able to live up to those expectations. Texas A&M has been pretty decent on the defensive side of the ball, but still not quite as good as you'd expect this group to be, at least the expectations they had coming into the year. Texas A&M, nobody thought that they were going to be killing people on the offensive side of the ball, and that's definitely been the case. But going on the road here today against Missouri, the Missouri Tigers only have 2 wins in conference this year, sitting in the basement of the conference standings, only ahead of LSU right now. Missouri, they've had some respectable results on occasion on their home court this year, but those results have been few and far between. Earlier in conference play, Missouri went on the road to Texas A&M and fell, and was actually a fairly competitive matchup. But coming into this one, we feel like Texas A&M, if they do play up to some of their potential, and we have seen Texas A&M pick up some decent wins as of late, we do like the Aggies to go on to win and cover this pretty small spread here against the Missouri Tigers as the better value bet against the spread. All right, moving on down here to the Big Ten, we have a matchup between the Indiana Hoosiers and Purdue Boilermakers. Indiana has shown a really high ceiling this year at times, for instance, back with their wins in the non-conference against opponents like North Carolina and Kansas, but unfortunately for the Hoosiers, they've been far too inconsistent, and especially over the last month, Indiana's really been a very stressful team to watch and really frustrating at times. Indiana, they definitely had the talent where they could have really made something out of this season, but unfortunately for the Hoosiers, they don't look like they're going to be able to make the NCAA tournament at this point. Even a win here on the road against Purdue, Indiana would still probably have quite a bit of work left to do to get themselves on the right side of the bubble. Indiana was able to find a way in their last outing. They grabbed a win against Northwestern, but things will get a little tougher for the Hoosiers today going on the road. Indiana hasn't necessarily had much success on the road this year in Big Ten play. And then we have this Purdue squad who's trying to get that Big Ten regular season title. In their last outing, Purdue did not show up as they went into Ann Arbor and fell to the Michigan Wolverines in a game that really never was all that close. Purdue, you'd expect them to take advantage of an opponent like Michigan given their immense advantages down in the post with their strong front court. But Purdue just wasn't able to do that. Coming back here to their home court, Purdue has had a lot of success on their home court this year. And Purdue already has a win on the road against Indiana in conference play. We feel like their loss against Michigan is really going to wake this group up as they come back to their home court. And we are going to side with Purdue to go on to win and cover the spread against the Hoosiers as the better value bet. Moving on down here to some action, we have a matchup here between Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan. Both these teams right now are currently tied at the bottom of the MAC West Division with a 6-10 overall record in conference play. And really both of these teams not having a lot of success as of late. Eastern Michigan winning 1 of the last 7, while Central Michigan has won just 1 of their last 6 games. Central Michigan, they at least have the pieces where you feel like they could potentially make a surprise run in the MAC tournament given the strong offensive weapons they have. Central Michigan ranks 3rd in college basketball in scoring average. They have the leading scoring backcourt in the nation, as well as Marcus Keene, who's the leading scorer in the nation overall. Central Michigan hasn't been showing that offensive pop as of late, and really we feel like it's more of a decision-making scenario where Central Michigan just isn't making as good of decisions as of late on the offensive side of the ball as we've seen from them in some of their better results this year. Central Michigan, they've been fairly competitive on their home court throughout the regular season. This is going to be a revenge game for the Chippewas, as earlier in conference play went on the road to Eastern Michigan and fell in that matchup. But coming into this one, we feel like Central Michigan getting the points here against an Eastern Michigan squad that has had just as many struggles as the Chips have had as of late. So we're going to go ahead and side with Central Michigan getting those 2 points as the better value bet against the spread. Moving on down here, another matchup in the MAC. We have Buffalo versus Ohio. These teams still battling for position over there in the tougher MAC East Division. Buffalo was really going on an impressive run through most of the month of February, but more recently Buffalo hasn't looked quite as strong, and this has really been the case with Buffalo throughout the regular season. They've shown a really high ceiling at times, but they've just been inconsistent with their effort and on a game-to-game basis, and they've gone on runs where they've had some nice winning streaks and then also some results where you're kind of left scratching your head. Going on the road today against Ohio. Earlier in the year, Buffalo played Ohio at home, and that was back when Ohio still had Antonio Campbell on their team, and he was the MAC Player of the Year last year, but Antonio Campbell is out for this one just like he's been through most of MAC play. That was a very competitive matchup between these two teams, and we wouldn't be surprised to see another competitive matchup here. Buffalo getting those 5 points feels like a pretty solid value bet, and Ohio, they haven't necessarily utilized their home court advantage all that well in conference play, so we're going to go ahead and side with Buffalo getting those 5 points as the better value bet. And just one more matchup I want to touch on in today's video. It's going to be a pretty intriguing matchup that we get over in the Big 12 between Oklahoma State and Iowa State, two of the hottest teams in the Big 12 over the past month or so. Oklahoma State, it's really been quite incredible what they've been able to do. This was a team that couldn't buy a win through the first few weeks of Big 12 play, but over the past month and a half or so, Oklahoma State's gone on to win 10 of their last 11, and they've picked up some pretty nice wins on the road to boot. Earlier in conference play, however, Oklahoma State went against Iowa State at home, and they fell in that one by double digits. Oklahoma State had a really tough time stopping that Iowa State offensive attack. Both of these teams have shown the ability to put up some pretty strong numbers on the offensive side of the ball this year, but Iowa State does rank significantly better on the defensive end. Iowa State also has one of the better home court advantages in the Big 12, and we saw that in their last outing as Iowa State went on to beat Baylor at home. We feel like behind their home court advantage today against a team that they've already beaten by double digits on the road this year, we feel like Iowa State giving those 3.5 to 4 points right now is going to be the better value bet against the spread. So those are the 5 games I wanted to touch on in today's video. Again, if you're interested in getting our daily free pick, you can head over to our main website, stumpthespread.com, by clicking on the logo in the top right-hand corner of this video, and I'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. And for more video pick content in the future, you can click that subscribe button. So thanks, guys, for stopping on in, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.